And for more on the war in Israel and the political impact here at home, I'm joined by Niall Stanage, White House columnist with The Hill. Niall, thanks so much for being here.
Good to be with you, Natasha.
Let's start with this. We know Chris Christie is in Israel today, and we've certainly heard support for Israel from other GOP presidential candidates. Christie is the first to actually visit. Could that help move the needle for him?
I don't think it could, but that's not to say that it's a bad idea for him to go there. The great problem that Chris Christie has in the Republican primary is that he's the most vigorous critic of former President Trump in a party whose grassroots activists remain very loyal to former President Trump. So I don't think a trip to Israel will move the needle. Now, I want to separate that political implication from the fact that this was clearly an emotional and emotive trip. It's obviously important, I think, in any conflict to try to see something firsthand if you can. And so just on that basis alone, I think it's commendable that the former governor decided to go there.
And we also heard Christie praising President Biden, saying that he's done a good job handling relations with Israel during wartime. We do continue to see protests at Biden events, including outside of his Delaware home this weekend. Also, a new poll last week finding nearly half of Democrats do not agree with the president's messaging on Israel. So, Niall, what's the president's best course of action here?
It's very difficult for President Biden if you want to look at this in political terms, because he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. There are obviously a large number of Democrats who do support Israel. There are an almost equal, and sometimes polls show greater number of Democrats who lean in their sympathies more toward the Palestinians. That latter group is enraged by what they regard as the president's complicity in these attacks by Israel on Gaza that have caused such enormous suffering, about 11,000 deaths, and some of the terrible scenes that you showed from hospitals earlier on. I don't see a way that the president can really mollify that group without losing the pro-Israel group. It's a very serious divide in the Democratic Party. It's a very serious divide left of centre in American society generally. And so far, the president has clearly chosen staunch support of Israel.
You know, another GOP presidential candidate is finding himself on the defensive today. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is denying that his attempts to remove pro-Palestinian groups from public colleges in Florida violates free speech. He claims that it is not a First Amendment issue. What are you tracking in terms of these headlines? Is there any validity to that?
I think the most important thing so far is that at least two of the major universities in Florida have pushed back against Governor DeSantis's directive. They say that they're worried that enforcing that directive could possibly leave college administrators themselves with a legal liability if the students then sue on First Amendment grounds. This obviously is a complicated issue, Natasha. The governor has accused those groups of giving material support to terrorism. That is an unproven allegation. It's a criminal offence if it actually has occurred. But normally, as we know, criminal offences are dealt with through the criminal courts, not by directives ordering universities to disband organisations.
All right, Niall Stanage, always appreciate your time. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.